Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says it is 8 o'clock on Wednesday evening, the last Wednesday in March this year. Back with 3 for tomorrow, and I'm going to have a quick look at the Limerick card to try and direct some students maybe to make a few pounds tomorrow. Who left a message there? David Donnell, going to Student Day in Limerick. So I'm going to go through the card briefly and just give you a few a bit of advice and a few tips to see can I make you a few pound. I'll either be canonised or shot, one or the other. Today we had a place in the first race on the flat in Navan. The £10 that I thought might make the difference didn't make the difference. The horse that beat us on Saturday beat us again today, but they were paying 5 places on that, so we got our money back. Adrimel traded 5 to 2 on between the last two. I pick up the school kids at the national school kids at 3 o'clock. That race was at 3, so I put it on the phone and I put the phone up on the dash. So I was driving and I heard him saying Adrimel takes a few lengths lead, and I thought we were going all right. So Shrewdy sent me a message straight away, said he blew up, needs a wind operation. So I don't know, because I don't think he even finished in the first 3. I didn't get time to look back at it yet. And the one of the flat was flat and very flat, and the one in on the go in Kempton, it's the right little horse. It won there. That opened up 2 to 1 yesterday evening. I think it was evens last night. So all in all, that would have won us, and with the place, it would have put us about even for the day. So if we're not losing money, we must be winning. I have 3 for tomorrow, and there's an honourable mention to a bus horse. There's a lot of stuff on, lot of. I could have picked 6 out tomorrow, but I'm going with 3. Let's see. The first race, this opened up 7 to 4. I showed a video of it a couple of weeks ago there, by your side, and I said we'll be on it the next time. And they dropped it from a handicap back to maiden hurl. This was it the last time when it ran. It's about in 5th place, 6th place actually, but it runs on. The reason they gave it a good educational ride the last day, in his 2 previous runs, the second one before that, it looked like it was going to win. It made a howler of a mistake at the last, and then the run previous to that made another mistake at the last. Now, as you can see, it has a lot to learn about jumping.
On the heels of the leaders as they come towards the second
but it has a good engine.
And it's Carbon King just poking to the front from Punt Odemir, the challenger. Don't go yet, little mix-up. Weakening is Big's Belief, staying on his buyer's side, and then Cafe Con Leche, and through on the inside Punt Odemir. But with the fractional advantage, however, it's Carbon King. Then little mix-up, buyer's side still stays on. And at the final flight, it's Carbon King, the leader under Shane Fitzgerald. Moving on now by over 3 to 4 lengths from Punt Odemir, buyer's side. Still coming on the inside, but for a place surely it's Carbon King up towards the finish with flying home by your side. £16, how are you? As the winner is Carbon King from by your side.
We were on the winner that day, Carbon King, for the second time. As he said, £16, how are you? But there's a danger in the Lovely Man, who ran 2 nice races. I think it's between the 2 of them. It's a 4-year-old maiden hurl. It was behind Jazzy Matty, who went on to win in Cheltenham, and it was behind Biker the last day. So I think it's between the 2 of them. They're all 4-year-olds, but by our side, hopefully, will have learned a bit more out how to jump properly, and has a good little engine. The other one is a better jumper. If you could ever mix the 2 of them together, you'd have a grand little horse. The other one is a very steady jumper, wouldn't have the same engine. And then on to Hexham. Had a grand little price on a horse here earlier, but I'm afraid it's swallowed up. Houston, Texas. It actually opened up at 11-1 with the green bookie. It's into fours, and it opened up at sixes with 365. Nicky Richards is on fire. The last 14 days there, he's 7 for 22. That's 31%. It was actually nearly 40% before today started when I was studying these horses last night. But it ran a grand race here up against better horses, I thought. It finishes fourth. And then they ran it in the Eider, which is clearly too far, and it was a hotter company. So back in Camera Waters tomorrow, I thought it had a great each-way chance. So now we got to go a win bet unless it drifts out again to 5-1.
Russian begins to move well and stays off. Here they come into the home straight. Half a mile left to run. 4 fences left to jump. French Paradox had the lead. On the inside, Old Painless. In third, Houston, Texas. Up on the outside, Castle Russian. That's the order as they come down and jump the open ditch. Good jump by the leaders. Safely. Oh, no, down. It's Castle Russian. He's down. I thought he jumped it, but he's gone. Castle Russian is down. And that leaves French Paradox 4 lengths clear. Old Painless is on the inside. This is 3 out. French Paradox has the lead. Getting a bit tired is Old Painless. Making ground now is Wow Sham. In the black colours, he's been last all the way. He's not last anymore, he's second. Now, can this leader keep going? This French Paradox is in the lead, but just getting a bit tired out there. 1 fence left to jump, and Wow Sham is beginning to stay on. JJ Slavin's rousting him along. Can French Paradox hang on? Comes to the last, jumps it really well, and that could have won it for him. Gavin Sheehan's getting a double. This one trained by Oliver Signey, and French Paradox is coming home to win the QuinnBet Best Odds Guaranteed Handicap Chase very nicely indeed. Wow Sham stays on to be second.
He's very cumbersome in the jumping department, but I think the track in Hexham is suit him for galloping. I'd been picked out as an each-way bet. He upped up 11-1. But I'd say that the market will settle again tomorrow. Back him each way if you get 5s. There's 8 in it. And then, where are we? On to Naas. Would you believe the top 2 in the market won for us last time out? The Cornerhouse has won twice at grand odds. Owen Dwan for Julie Cashin. It won at 9-2 and 100-30, and it won the time before it's over 2-7. It just got up on the line, got into horrid bother after the last, coming to the last, over the last, and on the run in, and the last hit in it absolutely hosed up. It's up £10 from 91 to 101. But the Connector won for us as well the last time on a track, the inside track in Punchingtown, and he's a big old strong pig of a horse, and it probably didn't suit him. I think the track will suit him much more tomorrow. He went up £7, but he's a £7 claimer, Aidan Kelly, taking off the £7, so he's running off the same technically. This is him in third place,
the inside nudges along
or fourth of the white cap.
Ranger Billy and Whip Whittaker and Ben Freya stepping at that perfect arch, somehow survived, but has relinquished the lead. Back to Reserve Judgment, challenged by the Connector, then Whiskey Lady. We'll go what's next. Then Herculaneum and Ranger Billy and Ben Freya. Round the bend for the final flight, and it's the Connector one off the rail, joining issue with Reserve Judgment and Whiskey Lady. We'll go what's Herculaneum and Ben Freya. Dropping away is Perfect Arch. It's the Connector from Herculaneum, who's come from almost last to challenge. In between them is We'll Go What's, then Reserve Judgment, Whiskey Lady and Ben Freya. It is the Connector and Simon Torrance, couple of lengths in front of Herculaneum and Jody McGarvey. In third is We'll Go What's, and driven out, it's the Connector going to underscore for Michael Harrigan, ridden by Simon Torrance. Herculaneum.
It's back to... It's 2-2 tomorrow. That was over 2.5. He's still learning his trade. He's only a 5-year-old. I think he's with the other horse going up to £10. him with the claiming 7 equalising his weight, and maybe a small reverse forecast with the two of them. They're 2 bus horses. An honourable mention to a bus horse. Speaking of the bus, we have 5 runner affair tomorrow. We have Apple Rock. It won 3 times for us. On the 22nd of November, the 1st of December and the 30th of December. The last day I thought it was up a bit in class. There were better horses that was up against it in Ascot. It ran pretty decent, like it was 5th or 6th, but it was well beaten that day. But Thomas More, Ivaldi, Infa, Luke de Mald, I think are better class than what he's up against tomorrow. He beat Imberio before. Imberio did look like it didn't stay that day. He was 5th behind him over the 3 miles. He ran pretty decent the last time then, but that was over 2 miles 5 to Haititi, who went in again. Now, if it's that he didn't stay, we have the measure of him. There's a couple other ones, and the Tambourine Man as well. But he'd have a chance in that race tomorrow. But a good chance. That is one. It's up £15 now. The Tambourine Man. I'd be putting maybe a win bet on him, but or put him in a Trixie or something. What is he put? 5-2, 9-4-2-1. And Berio's the favourite. We beat him before. Maybe unless there was something wrong with him, but I thought it looked like he didn't stay that day. And if he didn't stay, we have the measure of him. On to Limerick tomorrow. I'll have a quick look. In the first race, we have a horse that doesn't stay at 2 miles. Libby. It looked all over winner. The last twice it ran. There's a lot of money for Heather Bear from the Slattery Yard. It opened up 7-2. It's first time over hurdles. Hasn't ran since the 17th of September on the flat, rated 72. So if you add 40 to that, be 112. What's Libby rated? 111. There wouldn't be a lot in it if it can jump. There is Gordon Elliott's around there, and you get a £7 claimer on. It was one in or second the last day, beating a nose. I swore the last day I wouldn't back Libby again, so I probably won't. I'll have to stick with Gordon Elliott's for back to stud. And I think they could have the winner of the second race as well. So the flow. Behind Franciscan Rock, and she's behind Dark Raven previously there. 2 miles 5, back and trip a bit. That Franciscan Rock went off a hot favourite the last day, but it didn't run its race. Sir Argus. They're better class horses than he's up against tomorrow. Tetsy's won a 4-year-old race the last day. Strong in the market there. I thought, don't forget any students, it's a quarter the odds on the track. You won't get the extra place, but quarter the odds on each way bet. That has good enough form there. That's the strong race in December there behind Neff and Beg. And our Deraroo, the last is soft to heavy. Back and trip. It'll be fine. I thought that would be an each way bet on that at 9-2. Kate, I'll know. That ran a very good race the last day. And the thing about this horse is it had 7 runs in 2021. And then it was off the whole of 2022. 2 runs this year, and it ran very well, I thought, the last day in Clonmel, and only for it jumped the second last slowly. It was right there. There were nearly 3 abreast at the time. It ranked. It was very slow, but I think that run will bring it on. And again, it's a 4-1 shot. That'd be an each way bet, and that with a quarter of the odds. To be paying 3 places, like, but you'd hope that would be in the first 3 the way it travelled the last day. It's a 10-year-old, lightly raced. Like, it has only ran 9 times. At 4 o'clock, Coventry was running well over a longer trip the last time, and Sam Ewing was riding him, and he was just making a nice move on before he got up to the top of the hill in Thurles, and he rushed him into the hurdle, and he went straight out over the top of his head, and then the horse sort of fell or something. But it was like as if the horse sort of was pitched off, saying, "Look at, hey, I'm doing all right." He has run pretty decent there behind Maxim in Leopardstown and Verdant Place. I think an each way bet again with that is a safe play. They'll be paying 3 places, quarter of the odds at the track. Similar one applies here with Holiday in Kerry. This one last year in Limerick, I tipped it up the last day and it didn't run. But it won last March over course and distance. It was behind Tangential in the 2nd of March, and Tangential should have won the last day only for I made a bad mistake. That's running tomorrow in Naas. That should have a right chance as well. It went up £5, Tangential did, for being second, beating ahead. But the switch jockey, and they have Sarah Kavanagh, £7 claimer on it. So I don't know much about Sarah. I think she has only one winner in the last 12 months. I'd be sweeter on that if there was a more accomplished jockey on it. Nothing against the girl, you know. But Covent, or a Holiday in Kerry, local trainer, and then the bumper. There's a huge move on a horse here. Bioluminescence. It opened up 4-1. It's into 13-8 and 15-8. It's in the JP colours by the shrewd Gavin Cromwell, and it won a point in Bulcha by 20 lengths on the 27th of November. Went clear flat and eased. So there's a ball of money down in this, so that'll settle down and get tomorrow. Mullins' was even money at the start. It has drifted out now to 64. So this yoke must be, it's out of walk in the park, isn't it? A bit of a machine, it's supposed to be anyway. And John Gleeson, the bumper winner, they have the right man on his back. They may be thinking of some of the festivals or entry or something for that horse, you see, so they want to get the leg up onto him. Anyway, I'm rattling on a bit. Best luck to the students tomorrow. Have a good day out. Bash the bookies. Bring your wheelbarrows.